Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil, and joining me as always, he was happy that Brightest Day is ending this week. It is.
I will. Hey, everyone.
That's right. That's right, we're going to wrap up this whole Brightest Day thing with Brightest Day 19 through 24 tonight. So we can get right on the War of the Green Lantern next week.
Oh, man.
And everything else. Let's talk this. Alright, so, but before we get to that, not young, but Mr. Will Allred has read the new Lantern book, so.
Yeah, I actually had a chance to catch up, which was kind of nice. I'm kind of digging the myth building that Philip Kennedy Johnson's doing with the origins of the Dark Star name and where that ultimately came from. I thought that's kind of cool.
Yes.
So I thought that was really cool. Too Fast, Too Furious, Hal Jordan as a 12-year-old or whatever.
Oh yes, Hal. I want your thoughts on young Hal Jordan car thief. Yes.
I thought that was interesting, but as I was reading it, Carol said she'd been to Vegas before. They were actually in Vegas right after Blackest Night. Remember? So we just read those issues as part of that drawn-out arc of New Guardians, right?
Yes. Well, you know what they say: what happens with Larfleeze stays with Larfleeze.
Yeah, in Vegas.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know. It shows, he was a rebel and blah, blah, blah.
Didn't we know that?
We did. We already knew that. But I was intrigued about the reveal at the end, them coming out to, the council, but the council's not really the council. And I thought that was clever. But I feel like it's that maybe they know. So they did what the people who can see the future saw them do, but they knew that I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. It's
they knew that they knew that they knew.
Exactly, and they knew. So then they knew that they knew exactly. But I am looking forward to it. I mean, and I do like the fact that these were hyped as crossovers with
House of Brainiac.
I think just
the Guy Gardner backup counts.
Just the backup
yes.
story. Yeah. The other thing that I thought was really funny, speaking of Guy Gardner, was where the Book of Oa ended up.
Yes.
In his closet.
Yes. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is she talking about the actual Book of Oa? I'm like, what the?
So yeah, I mean, things are definitely weird without the Guardians and the United Planets. So I'm hoping that things are starting to move faster because, I feel like we've been waiting for so long for answers. Mm-hmm. And we've gotten some answers, but then some of the answers that we've gotten have changed the continuity of what we saw, during the last run. So yeah, I'm anxious to see what's going on and, how it kind of all fits together. And don't get me wrong, I have complete faith that Jeremy Adams is going to bring it all together because, I mean, he did such wonderful work. I mean, he's doing such wonderful work on the title right now, and his Flash was amazing. So I have every reason to expect that it's all going to come together and be great. It's just, I want more now. Come on.
Yes, exactly. We're just greedy. I'm wondering if, they're going to defeat the United Planets and it's going to be like a return of the Guardians. And yes, I know we killed some Guardians in the last run, but again, death only slows them down. So
temporarily, yeah,
a couple times.
Yeah, it I'm really looking forward to. I was going through the. I built a really long list of all of the collected editions of Green Lantern and put it on Reddit. Right. So hey, is this right? Please add to it and all that. And we're getting up to a point where not only have I not read, but I don't have those collections. So I'm going to start, slowly getting some of them and reading stuff for the first time. So I'm kind of looking forward to New 52 when we get to that point, because so much of New 52, I mean, all except for the first few issues maybe of the 4 series, I have never read. I mean, I did read the collected edition of what was the New Gods crossover?
Oh, Godhead or whatever.
Godhead, yeah, I've got that collection up there. So I'm in a weird place, man, because this is going to be stuff that I've not read before, and I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, a lot of that New 52 stuff, if I've read it, I've only read it like once, like when it first came out. So yeah, so it's almost new to me because I can't remember half of it.
Yeah, and I've got I haven't read anything yet, but I do have all of the Green Lanterns series and all of the Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps series. So I'm looking forward to getting into that, after New 52, because that's Rebirth, right?
Nice, yeah. So yeah, we only got like 8 more episodes, and then we'll get to New 52. So yeah,
I think we're gonna have to change something about the show, Phil. I have a criticism.
Uh-oh.
You know how we always say that we talk about everything else, and then we say, oh, it's not like we've got a Guy Gardner issue to talk about. I think we're gonna have to change that to be a Brightest Day issue to talk about.
I think so. Yeah, because again, there's some good Guy Gardner stuff in New 52 when he's a Red Lantern and stuff. So yeah, I think it's going to happen.
I mean, and that's a kind of, I guess, a segue into. I really liked a lot of the ideas behind it and some of the execution of Brightest Day, but overall, I just don't ever feel like it came together.
I don't know. Do you feel like they tried to do too much with too many characters? Is that the problem?
I don't know. I mean, when the climax of your story is a dead, musty-looking giant Swamp Thing fighting a normal giant-looking Swamp Thing, I think you should maybe reconsider your climax. I don't know.
We're gonna undo some Alan Moore stuff.
Yeah, I just feel like it was a lot of changes that were quickly reversed for a lot of characters. And I mean, I feel like the intent was to give them a new, pardon the metaphor here, a new lease on life, and a new starting point so that they could, tell new stories with the characters. Mm-hmm. But some of the decisions that the Lantern made, or the Ring made, were nonsensical. I mean, I need this to happen, but I'm just he's gonna throw this, but you didn't, and I don't. What? Huh?
Will's like, I want my jewelry to make mature decisions. Damn it!
Exactly, or well thought out decisions.
Something.
I mean, this seemed like a really long and tortured way to bring back Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that comes a little bit out of left field, I think. We were talking about Save the Planet early on. I get it.
But we haven't mentioned. Yeah, I mean, we'll get there. But yeah, we really don't get Swamp Thing till almost the end. Yeah. Yeah,
and bring back Alec Holland, and then put the live one and join him to the. And it's I don't know. It's just it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I think that there were parts that were very well done, but overall, it did not come together for me, and I'm honestly disappointed because I had some high expectations for this based on the creative team.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we get to it?
Let's do it.
Let's get this over with. All right. Brightest Day number 19 from April 2011. Aqua War Part 1. Writer Jeff Johns and Peter Tomasi. Pencilers, Ivan Reyes, Eau Claire Albert, Rob Hunter, and Joe Prado, your 4 pencilers. Inkers, Vincent Vincente Cifuentes and David Beatty. Colorist Aspen Studios and Peter Steigerwald. Letterer Rob Clark Jr. and editors Eddie Berganza and Adam Schlauman. All right, so, and again, I have no synopses for these, so yeah, let's.
Okay, cool.
I mean, unless you want to do you want to do one at a time, or you want to do it as a whole thing, or how do you want to do this?
I don't know. What do you think, man? What's your preference?
What would be less painful for you, Will?
Let's talk. Let's. I guess let's hit the highlights from individual issues, and then we can talk about the whole thing. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this one starts with Dead Man, well, standing over what's left of Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Exactly. Yeah, it's. And we do get some things set up about Firestorm. We don't want to forget that, because I'm curious. Yeah. I am slightly curious about. Okay, where did that get?
Oh yeah. I mean, in this first one, yeah, it's the Ring basically telling Dead Man some stuff, but about its plan. Some of the others like Max Lord and stuff are just like certain things, but others are more significant to the purpose, like Aquaman, Firestorm.
Yeah, and Captain Boomerang.
Yeah,
gotta kill undead man, not dead man. What did we decide on?
not dead man.
Not dead man, but now previously not dead man, but now dead man.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's when the Ring's explained in that little shadowy. I think that's the first kind of hint we get at Swamp Thing here.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is issue 19.
And then we get the whole war because the Ring opens up for
Zebel or
the Bermuda Triangle, and
yes. And because kids love the 90s and Peter David, we got to cut Aquaman's hand off again.
Again, yes.
Again. Well, cut off this time. Last time it was eaten by piranhas. So.
Yeah. Yay, the 90s. Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, it's... And then, boom, we hop into the next issue, right? And,
yep.
And, hey, you can't fight and save people here. These people don't matter if they die or not, because we gotta have Aquaman do his one-handed Aqua stuff and have Mera come back and save the day. And
Jackson, confronting his father, Black Manta,
and
meeting the new Aqua girl, Lorena.
Yep. And we get a nice double-page splash of Aquaman with dead sea life, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's the whole thing with Mera, basically, pushing her power to the limit and basically smacking them with the whole ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And Aquaman. The Aquaman, the dead sea life, yeah.
Yeah. And in the end, Aquaman is happy with Mera, and then the Ring comes in and says, "Oh, die. You're done.
Yep.
Mission accomplished. Your life is returned. Die."
Exactly. Just like, yes, when Hawkman and Hawkgirl finally felt love, and, it's just, you're done. So, yeah.
And we get, in the next issue, we get a return of the Atom, and we get to see some of the other characters and how people are reacting to all of this stuff. And finally, we get back to Mars. How long have we been away from Mars?
Oh, Lord, I can't remember. That's what I was thinking when I read this. I'm like, man, this has been a while.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we see... because the Atom is basically investigating... the deaths of the Hawks. He's like, first Firestorm implodes aboard the satellite, and then he's like, I have Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and he's like, and now with what happened to Aquaman. So, yeah, I guess the Justice League and the Titans, and it was the Justice Society there too, and they're just like, doesn't make sense. Why would the White Lantern bring them back to life and then just kill them again?
Hey, that sounds similar to maybe a criticism that, I don't know, perhaps we've made.
Yes. Superman. I love Superman. We all assumed the power of life was a good thing, but Batman. Life is complicated, Superman.
And we get Martian Manhunter fighting Decay and diving into the sun with her and destroying her, apparently. And then he comes out, mission accomplished, life returned.
Yeah, because he's like, because she's like, I want to help you bring back Mars. And he's like, no. He's like, I gotta kill you. I gotta kill you to protect, Earth and everything else. So yeah, he dives into the sun with her, and then it's basically committing suicide. But then the White Lantern brings him back. says choose your
Again.
world. He heads to Earth. Yeah, that forest in Star City.
And then the ring says the Earth has accepted you. And then we return back to Firestorm in the next issue.
yeah, because the ring doesn't kill him; it brings him back, and then it says the Earth accepts you. And it looks like Martian Manhunter sinks into the Earth. Yeah.
Yep.
This darn ring.
I have to say that I did think this was a little bit cute. Where hey, this is a battleship, that the Anti-Monitor was using, and Ronnie was here is still on it from back during the original Crisis. I thought that was kind of cool. But it's been issues since we've seen these guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, did we see him a little? Was it last? No. Well, I'm trying to remember because remember we were kind of out of order because they were in that Green Lantern Corps issue,
and then we caught up to them in Brightest Day. I think, the last time.
I mean, we haven't seen them since 2 episodes ago, but yeah.
And then we get
the Anti-Monitor and Deathstorm.
Mm-hmm. Deathstorm has some pretty good lines. Hey, you lasted 45 seconds against the Anti-Monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they're like, Ronnie and Jason are basically just like, well, we're going to try to free Professor Stein and Jason's father, but it's like, Ronnie's like, yeah, last time it took, basically everybody, me, Superman, Captain Atom, I do like the art on this, though, this Firestorm story.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
But they're finally working together as a team. Turn that big headpiece into hydrogen. I can do something complex. No, just do hydrogen. Then they make a giant match.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
He's like, you remember the Hindenburg, right?
They just had to watch Professor Stein die.
Well, yeah.
And then, boom, they destroyed all the Black Lanterns and everything's cool.
Well, yeah, they get separated, but then the Anti-Monitor... Well, is it the Anti-Monitor that kills... Oh, wait. Or is it Deathstorm? Stein... Oh, yeah, I think it's Deathstorm, because Stein's basically falling apart, and they become Firestorm to try to save him, but they can't. Even the White Lantern, they're like, fix him! You brought everyone back to life, and it won't. And then the whole Professor Stein saying to Ronnie, you weren't like a son to me, you are a son.
Yeah, and then he's gone. And then we get 2 issues of The Return of Swamp Thing.
I know. It's so weird. I guess Firestorm completes their mission, Life Returned, when he says, let's go kick the Anti-Monitor's ass.
Yeah, I guess.
He's like, you and I kicked their asses, and then it's like, Ronald Raymond of Earth, Life Returned. And then magically they're just teleported back to Earth, and Jason's father.
Yeah, so Jason's father, and everything's good.
Here's the other thing. Did the Lantern ever say why it needed information about the antimatter universe? Because it said it was hanging out there because it needed information about the antimatter universe.
Yeah, what information? I don't know. I don't think it ever said.
It's cool 72 degrees. Yeah, but in that one, Not Dead Man shows up and says, give me the lantern. And the Lantern even says, dude, he says, Earth depends on it. So yeah. Then we get to 23, the penultimate chapter. Take a drink, love. Let's see. Oh yeah, things are just running amok all over the planet, like fires and skies turn black. And
now, for the most part, I'm there is one place in particular that I have to just point out how that the writing actually took me out of the story, and I was like, oh
boy.
When the ring hits Firestorm, and the ring says, no need to worry, Jason Rush. Death sometimes makes you stronger, or simply just dead. I went, what the? That took me right out of the story. I was like, what? Did I just read that? Really? What?
Is that a clunky way of saying what doesn't kill you makes you stronger?
I was just like, okay, whatever. Let's keep going. I mean, okay, I get that they're going for the 4, classical Greek elements, right?
Actually,
wind, fire, and water.
Basically, Firestorm, Martian Manhunter, the Hawks, and Hawkman and Aquaman. Yeah,
but I'm not exactly a DC super scholar, but I would have thought that they would have went with like Red Tornado.
Yeah, because wasn't he the actual
Air elemental?
Yeah.
I mean, and the Hawks are already the basis for the Star Sapphires. Plus, they're they had that curse. Plus, they were. I mean, make them an. It just seemed like, why would you do that?
There was, I believe, because they even did that, because they even did mention the Red Tornado thing. I think in the original Firestorm series, like towards the end, there was like an actual elemental story.
Yeah, they had, because I know Firestorm was a fire elemental at that point.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a little confusing, but and then they bring back Alec Holland at the end.
Yeah, and then you have to do the whole explanation about yeah, back in the day, yeah, Alec Holland died. He never became Swamp Thing because again, Alan Moore, retconned this
his
whole
memories.
thing. Yeah, so basically this Swamp Elemental just had Alec Holland's memories. Thought it was Alec Holland, and that because yes, again in the Alan Moore stuff, he's like, was it Constantine or someone was like, no, you're not Alec Holland. You just think you're Alec Holland. You're not Alec Holland, which was kind of clever. But yeah, let's undo that.
Yeah. So, and then to bring him back, which doesn't make any sense, by the way, to bring him back, not dead man has to become dead man.
Yep, that's the whole throw in the boomerang, kids. Captain Boomerang throws at a dove, and then yes, not dead man leaps in the way. Save her. So why wouldn't you just say throw the damn boomerang at not dead man?
I don't know.
Because he knew he'd dodge it? I don't know, but I'm just... If you want not dead man, then you gotta whip it at him.
Yeah. And then we get to the point where two giant swamp things fight each other. And
yeah.
The world is saved. And Deadman's back to being a ghost.
Yep. But yeah, Alec Holland gets the white ring, and like you said, he becomes a dead man or a swamp thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we get some. Hey, these people are back. Here's the people that did their jobs. We get a nice recap of the people that did their jobs, and
Hawkgirl's missing, and
yeah, and Aquaman is off on his new adventure because hey, this technology that the rebels were using, the Zebels were using, is Atlantean. John Jones saves this young girl who's now old from brain cancer. Talks to her. Carter Hall, breaks things because he's frustrated, which is pretty on. That's definitely on message for him, right?
Yeah, and again, I think he thinks Hawkgirl's not coming back or whatever.
This is where we find out that in 89 days, 14 hours, 32 minutes, and 59 seconds, Firestorm's going to detonate.
I'm trying to remember if they were paid that off anywhere, because I don't think Firestorm had a book until New 52. So I'm just like, did they wait that? I can't remember. Oh, I can't remember that Firestorm book.
I'll have to look that up. And then Swamp Thing goes after bad guy, corporate billionaire bad guys, and of course we get a nice bollocks from John Constantine at the end.
Yes. Because I guess we're setting up search for Swamp Thing, so.
Which is like a 4-issue miniseries, I think.
Might even be 3, but yeah.
I mean, I'd kind of want to read those just to see what happens, but then the rest of me is like, no, just move along.
I mean, if you want to do it somewhere else, but I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it has little to nothing to do with with any lanterns.
Yeah, I have to say that. Oh, and I was actually talking to one of the boys about this earlier. I said, Blackest Night, I think is probably the best executed and just tightest, probably the best crossover that DC has done, right? So he asked me, what do you think the best Marvel crossover was? And I was like, Cosmos Inc. He said, Dad, first off, that was only within Quasar. You can't say that. And I said, I know, son. So, I came up with Operation Galactic Storm. I think that one was really well executed. And we've talked many times about the issues I have with Infinity Gauntlet, but I was trying to think of other really just awesome crossover that Marvel has done.
Trying to think, like Blackest Night. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, Blackest Night was DC's,
Oh.
I think, the pinnacle of their crossovers.
I mean, a few years ago, there was a big symbiote one with King in Black, which was good because me and Lilith were expecting nothing from it, but I mean, it was pretty decent. I don't think.
I started thinking about some of the mutant crossovers, like Follow the
Oh,
Mutants.
yeah. Inferno.
Inferno, I mean, those are all pretty tight and well done. The Mutant Massacre.
Yeah. What about like those annual crossovers, like Atlantis Attacks and Evolutionary War? No.
I brought up that. I said, oh yeah, there's one that goes into Alf, and he dreams the issue. And I said, you know who Alf is? Yes, I know who Alf is. Wow, I raised you well.
Nice. Yeah, no, last year Justin and I did the whole Evolutionary War, and then starting in August and September this year, we're doing Atlantis Attack. So
nice. Yeah, and those I remember being well done because not only did they have the main Atlantis attacks, but then they included backstory, like the Evolutionary War one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Atlantis Attacks had kind of the history of the Serpent Crown, and they had the history of the High Evolutionary.
Yeah.
Backup stories,
Mm-hmm.
in them, as well as other stuff. So yeah, I think those are well done too.
Oh yeah.
The original Secret Wars, I think, was jumping it out into its own limited series, and then at the end of one issue they leave, at the beginning of the next issue they come back, but we have to find out over the year.
And they kind of tease you over months, because I know the issue Spider-Man comes back, he's like, "Woo!" There's sometimes I thought I'd never get home, like that time Galactus almost stepped on me. It's like, what?
What? And he's wearing the black costume, which is so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but to go from Blackest Night to this, it's such a.
Yeah, and I don't think it helped it that there was right after it. If had there been like maybe some months of breathing space in between, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's just not. It borders on unfocused at times, and the central mystery of, hey, why are these characters brought back? I mean, it gets answered for some of these characters in kind of head scratcher ways. Yeah, you threw a boomerang.
And they tried to do most of this in this series, as Blackest Night, man. They let it go everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just, in comparison to Blackest Night, there's no comparison. Blackest Night is so much stronger, so much better executed than this.
And again, the Lanterns were such a big part of that. Basically, here, I mean, they kind of tell us Hal's on a side quest, but...
Yeah. Well, and this is just supposition on my part. I know nothing. This is just me thinking out loud. I feel like that kind of unfocused... This story could have been told a lot more efficiently, I think. It did not need 24 issues to tell. I think we probably have at least one full issue of just splash pages. Maybe double splash pages, right? A full issue of just... Maybe two. A full issue of just double page splashes and another issue of just full page splashes. And that's not necessarily efficient as it should be. But, this, it was so unfocused, and the pacing was off and on and variable, and just, I understand. I think it tried to do a lot. I don't think it really succeeded. And I think ultimately the whole reason to get Swamp Thing back could have been done much differently. And there's probably some disappointment on my part, and I'm going to wear my biases on my sleeve, right? Spinning out of Blackest Night with a white lantern, that's freaking Owen technology, right? And a ring. That's to not have any lantern stuff at all in this was really, really disappointing. I thought this was going to be something to do with, hey, in Brightest Day and Blackest Night, right? This is the other part of that, and it had nothing to do with the lanterns at all.
Well, yeah, because then, the first issue or two of this, Hal and Sinestro were in here, but then it kind of just went off into the Green Lantern book.
And I think that this kind of decompressed choice that they made for this, I feel like it spilled over into the main Green Lantern book, because, that New Guardians arc was also really decompressed, and I feel like should have been, a bit more efficient. Now, for the Green Lantern book, we're comparing it to some of the best Green Lantern that's ever been written, at least in my opinion. So it wasn't bad. It was just not as good as we had been expecting. It wasn't up to the quality that it was before.
It was a tough act to follow, yeah.
Yeah, this was just not what I was expecting, and not in a good way. You know?
Yeah.
So I can see people coming from Blackest Night coming into this and going, what is this? This is not. This was awesome. This is. I don't know what this is. You know, but hey. They crossed over a lot, and I'm sure they sold a lot of books. So ultimately, I guess that's what matters.
Yeah, even though some of those books probably had little to do with Brightest Day. But, yeah. I found a net.
The net. It's the net of power. Did he get to keep that? Did we decide if he got to keep that or not? I don't even remember.
Wasn't he using that? Wasn't he using that to power his weapons or something? Or
I don't remember.
I mean, maybe they'll play back into that when he shows up again with Sinestro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey kids, look! It's a white net. Doesn't that catch your fancy? Go read Brightest Day right now.
All 24 main issues, 25 main issues. Plus the 65 crossovers.
like the Green Arrow series where Oliver Queen runs around the forest. Get it? Sherwood Forest?
Yeah, I have to say that this is probably the first time during, the Jeff Johns era of Green Lantern that I've been disappointed in something coming out of that, which and that's you can't always hit home runs, but this one just seemed that there were easily avoidable mistakes that were not easily avoided.
Yeah. I mean, we've been saying that for a while, but yeah, I mean, and again, the whole Swamp Thing thing, it seems to come out of nowhere at the end here.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be a big mystery, and you're like, wait, that's the mystery?
It's a mystery. I don't think they really gave us clues to it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we've got to save the world. Okay, great. That seems to be like, hey, it's a Tuesday, right? Let's go save the world. But you're going to do what? And bring these dead characters back and let these characters get killed, even though you could bring them back? And you're going to, what? Why did you want to go to the antimatter universe? I just, I don't understand. I feel like and that may be my fault. If someone said that they love this thing and it's the greatest thing ever, I would be like, I'm happy for you. It just did not work for me,
Yeah, please. I mean, if any of you out there, if you like this, write in, let us know. What are we missing?
Yeah, please tell us how stupid we are, please. But yeah, when I turned that last page, I was like, don't get me wrong, the art throughout the series has been great. Even with the multiple pencilers, multiple inkers, the multiple colors, it still looks really great. It's just that the whole underlying premise and the reason for this book to exist, just to be a follow-up to Blackest Night, the reason for its existence seems extraordinarily mundane. We gotta get Swamp Thing back. Blackest Night was threatening the entire known universe, right? And Brightest Day doesn't have anything to do at all with much of the universe in general, and certainly not with any of the Green Lanterns. So, yeah, I guess I am disappointed.
Yeah, again, there's so much stuff here. It's just I don't know if they try to do too much or just again. I'm sorry. And again, Blackest Night had so many miniseries and stuff. They have more room to work. Like I think I said it before. This should have given Aquaman his own miniseries, Firestorm, Martian Manhunter. Again, you would have more room to work with stuff.
Well, yeah, and I think that would have focused give the Hawks a series, give Aquaman a series, give Martian Manhunter a series, and give Firestorm a series, and then those series happen around an 8-issue Brightest Day series that is telling, Dead Man's story along with some of the other smaller things that need to happen, in it. I think that would have been perhaps a better way, but I still think fundamentally having zero Green Lantern involvement with this, having, no universe type, it just seems, the story seems too small to be a follow-up to be, to Blackest Night, ultimately.
Yeah, I mean, again, it seems so much weirder because Hal was here in like the first issue or two, and then it's like, nope.
Yeah. Hey, you can't lift it. Okay, I'm going to go, hang out with the entities and little blue hooded guys that are, chained up. So there we go.
Which I'm like, what were they trying to do? Sell the Green Lantern book? Which I don't think it needed help at this point. It's like Brightest Day needed help, probably.
I think so. Yeah. So I mean, and I don't want to keep bagging on it, but it was. I think it needed help. It needed some focus brought to it because, and I'm a continuity nerd. I think continuity is cool. When you can use it, use it. If you don't need it or don't want to use it, then don't worry about it, right? But this just seemed like a really convoluted way to fix a continuity problem that they wanted Swamp Thing back, and that just doesn't. That doesn't. The end result just did not thrill me ultimately.
Yeah, it seemed kind of so weird too because it's like, oh hey, remember this thing Alan Moore did? Yeah, we're gonna wipe that clean and we're just gonna go with the simple. Well, the call in is Swamp Thing again. It's like, wow. Yeah. Did we need that?
But it wasn't for me. I don't actually know who it was for. Is it for the Swamp Thing fans out there? Is it for the Deadman fans? Who was this book really for? Or was it just a giant continuity reset button for several characters?
Well, that's what I said too. Were we trying to drum up interest in new books? It's like, hey, demand a new Aquaman book, demand a new Firestorm book. Was that the plan?
So, and I do have a couple of questions coming out of the series. We know that New 52 is bearing down like a freight train. Yes. With under full steam and with the brakes completely shut off. But we asked the question about did the Firestorm thing ever get paid off? Mm-hmm. What about Hawkgirl? Did that was not the end of that surely, or did these just get dropped because of New 52?
Yeah, I can't remember. Because that's the other thing. I mean, some of these endings, that's what I'm saying. I think they were trying to start, trying to drum up some interest in some books. It's like, Aquaman's like, oh, the Zebels dropped this. It's a weapon, but it's Atlantean. It's like,
Atlantean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bump, bump, bump. Sorry.
Exactly. And the whole Firestorm. Oh, we're going to blow up in 89 days. It's like.
Yeah. I'm going to look that up, see if I can find that Firestorm Brightest Day.
Yeah, because I can't remember if they did anything pre-New 52, but yeah, with New 52, Firestorm, it was Jason and Ronnie in the book, so. But it almost seemed like it did seem like a, pretty much all of it was reboots, except for Green Lantern and you-know-who. Yeah, I mean, everything else pretty much did a hard reset.
Batman, my favorite character.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see here. Deathstorm, Black, okay. And then after that, Swamp Thing brings back Firestorm Nor. Afterward, it's revealed Johnny must find a way to contain their Firestorm matrix from the explosion in less than 90 days. That's it.
Yeah, I think I'm.
Yeah, I'm looking at DC Fandom.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Yeah. So yeah, they don't say anything after that. So yeah, maybe they did not.
Maybe that's just a hanging thread.
Yeah, because again, if you don't get to it by New 52, it ain't getting done. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, actually, we've still got to get through Flashpoint before we get to New 52.
Yeah. But I'm just saying with the Firestorm thing, if you don't wrap that up by New 52, it ain't getting wrapped up.
Flashpoint. Let's see.
So I'm trying to remember. I don't know if Firestorm even show up for Flashpoint. I don't think.
It says in Wikipedia that. Ronnie and Jason must find a way to contain their Firestorm matrix from the explosion in less than 90 days. After the events of the 2011 Flashpoint storyline, the New 52 reality altered Firestorm's personal history to the point of it being completely restarted.
Yep.
So I think they just dropped it.
But that's another good point. It's like, why would you start these dangling threads of, oh, hey, you want this book? Because it's like, again, everybody's getting a new #1 in the fall when, New 52 starts, so it's like, why would you dangle that? I don't know. Unless they were just like, oh, hey, they're crying for this plot point. Let's put that in the new book, even though we're restarting everything.
Everything? Yeah, exactly. So why? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, this thing just keeps confusing me more and more.
Yep. I don't know that I would recommend this series to someone.
Yeah, I don't know if I would either.
Which is the first. It's like a first for this podcast, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we're pretty easygoing when it comes to, read this.
But from a Green Lantern fan standpoint, there's really nothing in here that is necessary.
You could read the Green Lantern books, Green Lantern Corps, Emerald Warriors, and pretty much not miss anything Green Lantern related.
Exactly. And the slate gets wiped clean in several months after this for New 52 and Flashpoint. So I'm sad to say that, and it's disappointing because so far this era of Green Lantern has been nothing short of excellent.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, do you want to linger on this longer, or should we get out of here?
Nope. We have to change it from Guy Gardner issue to Brightest Day issue.
Oh, it's still going to be
my only request.
You're not fast. All right, kids. Well, next time it's going to be even better. We're back to Green Lanterns because we're going to start War of the Green Lanterns. Next week, part 1 will be Green Lantern Emerald Warrior 7 and 8, Green Lantern 63 and 64, and Green Lantern Corps 58. But yeah, it's going to be a month of War of the Green Lanterns. So yeah, send us your thoughts on that. Like I said, four episodes of War of the Green Lanterns, and there's a Green Lantern Corps episode, a Emerald Warriors episode, and then we're in Flashpoint.
Wow.
There's 6 episodes between us and Flashpoint, yeah.
Wow.
And that'll be 2 weeks, and then a New 52, so.
Moving right along. We are moving right along. We are about to slow down a lot.
Yeah. And again, even when we get to New 52, I did add in issues where, Green Lantern's guest, had a guest appearance like Blue Beetle and what's the other one? Another one, where is it at? But yeah, stuff like that where they, Stormwatch, yeah. So when they guest stuff like that, I've been adding those to the list. So yeah, we'll slow down for a while.
4 series. Plus, we've got a Larfleeze series coming up, and we've got a Sinestro series coming up.
And plus, I figure by the time, when we get to, the Grant Morrison, the Green Lantern, if we want to do, one issue in a week or something, we can always slow ourselves down that way, too.
Well, we might have to just to, get all the notes and the references that they cram into those issues. So.
Exactly. And plus, I figure, if eventually we do catch up, at that point, maybe we'll start doing Silver Age stuff, and and then maybe once a month, once everyone's read the new books, we'll do an episode just on the new issues once we've both read them. So
Well, I mean, even after New 52, we've still got 2 books. We've got Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps and Green Lanterns.
Yeah, with Simon and Jessica. Yeah.
So we've got. I don't think that we're going to catch up to the current series for a year or 2 or 3.
Because Green Lanterns with Simon and Jessica, how long did that? I mean, I know it went over 50. I'm trying to remember how long it went.
I think it went to 57.
Something like that, yeah.
I think everybody on Reddit refers to it as Hal and Pals, which I think is really cool. So I'll do that too. I think Hal and Pals went to 50.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it went to at least, so... There's over 100 issues right there, so.
Oh yeah, and we've got plenty of Green Lantern material coming your way for the next
couple years,
several years probably.
And again, if we have to, man, we'll go back to the Silver Age. We can tackle Hal Jordan in order from the Silver Age. I don't care.
Yeah, because yellow lamps are the most dangerous thing.
And my promise to you kids, we'll eventually we can get to all the old stuff, but. We will never touch Action Comics again. Action Comics Weekly again.
That's right. We do not speak of that.
Okay, what hurt you more? Action Comics Weekly or Brightest Day?
I think ultimately Action Comics Weekly I'd say Action Comics Weekly.
Yeah. No, I think the whole Cat Matui death and
Cat Matui, and that's really. Of all the things, that have been undone in multiple timelines and reboots and crossovers and crises and all that stuff.
And Hal's greatest enemy, Oprah Winfrey.
Yes, exactly. I would love to see Kat Matui come back.
Yes. I don't understand why we can't get her back. I mean, we redeemed that son of a bitch, Hal Jordan. I mean, come on. We can't bring Kat Matui back? Come on. That car thief, Hal Jordan.
And that's been how many battery blowups ago? Like 3 or 4?
I know. As I said, how many times have the Guardians died and come back since then? How many times has John been a Guardian and forgotten, and then a Guardian again? I
do like the fact that I don't know how it happened, and I'm confident that Jeremy Adams will explain this to us. But I'm happy that they're like, oh hey, yeah, we're gonna put a whole freaking battery on Earth.
Oh yeah.
And maybe we're going to put one somewhere else, like maybe we'll have 3 or 4 or 5 so that if they blow up one of them, it does not matter.
Yeah, it makes sense. But
I mean, DC editorial seems kind of drunk on blowing up, power batteries. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think he said it, but I mean, it should have been like, oh yeah, we've gone with the model of several central power batteries because who knows when some maniac's going to run amok and blow one up.
Hal Jordan, sorry.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do.
All right. So, so send us your thoughts on War of the Green Lanterns. Send us your thoughts on Brightest Day if you dare. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Get the brand new Capes and Lunatics merchandise, all the new logos. Again, you can, if you want to be really nice, you can just rain random money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Yes. Treat us like we're dancing on a pole, working our way through some kind of higher learning.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
And of course, talking about doing it for the money, the Patreon, yes, where Lilith and I try to give you something different every month. The July episode is going to be our road trip. Kind of keeping it secret, but yeah, you're going to get the road trip, so behind the scenes on the road trip. So, but yes, find everything at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right, now for this Mr. Will Allred, master of the Green Lantern Corps, master of the Quantum Zone, master of podcasting, and master of several, now he's going to have to start counting them on 2 hands, successful Kickstarter campaigns.
Thank you, sir.
Tell them all.
You can find, before I jump into that though, Phil, we have to have we have to have confetti or something, because this episode of Sector 2814 is divisible by 25.
Yay! That's right.
Yay!
God, and we wasted it on Brightest Day.
Oh well, it'll be all right. Anyway, if you'd like to find me, you can do that at Walred. That's at Gmail and Blue Sky and Facebook and Twitter, probably Instagram, and maybe a few others out there that I may have forgotten that I set up. And like Phil mentioned, I do write comics. We kickstart those. We've just getting ready to send Crossover Division number 5. Woohoo! Number 4. Thanks. We're getting ready to send Crossover Division number 5 to the printer, hopefully this week. And probably a month, 6 weeks, we'll be launching Crossover Division number 6. At least that's the plan. You can also check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And you obviously have great taste because you're here listening to Phil and I talk about, well, your Brightest Day, so maybe that does. Anyway.
Oh!
But that means you probably love Marvel's Quasar almost as much as we do. And if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
Okay, Deathstorm.
He goes limp in my grip. I hope it's going somewhere nice.
How would you sum up Brightest Day?
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
That issue of Fantastic Four, I just don't know how they got that past the
Stay tuned for July, kids. We're gonna have an interview with DeFalco. Like, make him answer for that.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
All right, and of course,
I of course love Hal Jordan.
I do.
that hooligan. All right, kids. Again, come back next week for something better. Part 1 of War of the Green Lanterns. Our month-long coverage of War of the Green Lanterns. And then we're getting closer and closer to New 52.
Which doesn't really affect Green Lantern a whole lot, but...
Or Ray's favorite character. Yeah, it almost like it just picks up right where they left off.
It does.
All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, it doesn't take much to be an elemental. Good night.
Elementally, sorry.